and
Oddworld.
Hey oddballs, I'm your host Jensen, and welcome to episode 168. Alright, we're jumping right in today and saying happy birthday, you September 17th babies. I have the book of birthdays in front of me, and we're going to get to know you, so here we go.
Happy birthday.
Such is their focus and drive that those born on this day frequently appear to be powerful, single-minded individuals who will allow nothing or no one to stand in the way of their progress. In many respects, this assessment is an accurate one, for these people are not only remarkably goal-oriented, but they also combine their capacity for concentration, logical thought, and intellectual and physical vigor with their somewhat stubborn tenacity to generate an almost irresistible force. Yet the personalities of those born on this day are not as straightforward as they may appear on superficial examination. For as well as being linear thinkers, their intellectual curiosity also endows them with the ability to think laterally, while they are also blessed with the sensitivity and perceptiveness, qualities that make them extremely empathetic toward others. The combination of their humanitarian instincts and organizational talents may lead them to pursue professions where they can assist or enlighten others, possibly through creative endeavors. They also make gifted and generous team leaders. Similar feelings of concern and responsibility for the well-being of others characterize their relationships with their nearest and dearest, toward whom September 17th people typically assume a protective stance. Although they rarely express their emotions openly, they demonstrate their affection for those closest to them through nurturing and practical action. Although initially shy, many are lively companions who are stimulated by artistic pursuits to which some choose to devote their careers, and also have an infectious sense of fun. Their virtues are decisive, progressive, forceful. Their vices are private, easily frustrated, touchy. Happy birthday again, you September 17th babies. If this sounds like you or somebody that you know, as always, let me know in the comments. And let's go ahead and move on to stories.
This comes from OK_attorney_4275 on Reddit.
This is a real story. It still is going on to this day, and I just need some help with this. This spirit isn't inherently malevolent, but it makes us feel uncomfortable. My cousin was the first to see it. A woman standing in the corner of my bedroom, wearing a white dress, and her face had a witchy look to it. It terrified him so badly that he has not been able to sleep there since then. Later on, he was in my room with his sister when my family and I were in Mexico. He suddenly got the feeling he was being watched and had a bad feeling, so he told his sister to move and ran down to the first floor. He kept feeling like he was being watched and looked back to see a woman staring at him from the top of the stairs. He took a picture of it as well. Hopefully he can find it soon. His sister has also felt the eerie feeling of being watched when she is in my room using the computer. It feels as if my younger sister was watching, even though we weren't even in the country. I feel this presence to this day. If I use my computer, my back faces the door. I sometimes feel like someone is there watching me. After staying awake for 2 full days, my younger sister saw a woman with a white dress in the hallway, which can fully be her sleep deprivation, but our cousin has seen it too. One night, I woke up suddenly, and in my chest, I just felt pure terror. I faced the wall, but my legs were being touched. 2 hands patting my leg. And in my head, I suddenly kept saying, "Don't turn around. Do not look at what it is." This was before I got an alebrije as well, a Mexican animal spirit guide. My cousin and uncle have told me there used to be a terrible energy that was constantly in my room, but has gone away. And we know that my alebrije is also part of the reason why the energy is gone. The woman, though, remains, but she only stays in the hallway. We believe that she can no longer enter my room due to the protection and positivity in there. We can still feel her watching us, and it's recently gotten so bad that I close my door all day and night now. We have 3 cats, and none of them have been scared or freaked out by anything, but they do sometimes stare into the hallway. Okay, first of all, how fun is it that this person has an animal spirit guide? Like, what? I have never heard of that before, and I think that is freaking cool, and I want one. But also, now I need to, look this up and look into it, and at what age do you get that? And all the things. I need to look up all the things, because now I'm very intrigued by that besides the story, because that is, like I said, not something I've ever heard of. Now, I find it interesting, though, that this person gets their little spirit guide, and this entity no longer comes near them or in their room, and it basically just kind of resides in the hallway. I wonder if this woman lived in the house before or needs something from you guys, to cross over. It's interesting that they described her face as having a witchy look. I would honestly start asking your family members if they've done something that they probably shouldn't have, but the thing is it's not malevolent. So it really isn't doing anything other than just kind of being there. She's just kind of there. What I have always done is, if you don't mind them being there, I know it makes you feel uncomfortable, but if you're just kind of hey, listen, you can stay here, but you have to stay on your side and we'll stay on our side, and we can kind of coexist. But I don't want to see you. I don't want to hear you. You can just do your thing. Just don't bother me, And I feel in a weird way that works. It's worked pretty much for me. But if the spirit is malevolent, and if you just don't want to do anything, or you know what I mean? That's not meant to be mean. I'm just saying, if you don't want to help her cross over or help her, I don't know. If you don't want to engage with it really, just be yo, you stay on your side. I'll stay on my side. We can coexist. But I don't want to see you. I don't want to feel you. I don't want any of that. And honestly, too, I don't know, again, much about this animal spirit guide. I wonder if you can tell them to basically talk to her and be what does she want? Or can you just kind of keep her away? Maybe they can be the communication for you instead of you being the communicator. I hope that makes sense. I grew up in I never like to say haunted, because it's not it was spooky, at least to me, but it was definitely visited and still has little spooky ghosts in there somewhere, because things still happen. But basically, I've used this at my parents' house, where I've just told them, you stay on your side, I'll stay on my side, we can coexist. It seems to work out, and it worked out pretty good when I lived there. So if it's not malevolent, but it makes you uncomfortable, then you need to address it. It just depends on how you would like to address it. You can address it directly, or again, use your animal spirit guide if that's what they're for. But I like this one because I like having a spirit that's in a house that just kind of resides there that everybody can see. They're not necessarily doing anything. It's just creepy, but it's yeah, we have this woman in white who is just chilling in our house. She's in the hallway now, but just chilling. Anyhow, if you have anything to add, let me know below, and let's go ahead and move on to the next story.
This comes from Mebin_KK1567 on Reddit.
My friend Gio, who studies painting, once stayed in a rented house with 5 of his college friends. The house was in a quiet village area surrounded by ponds, temples, and a small forest filled with trees. From the very beginning, something felt strange. The house stood alone in the middle of the woods with no neighbors nearby. Almost every night, Gio would wake up suddenly in the middle of his sleep, sometimes startled, sometimes uneasy. He always felt a heavy, negative energy inside the house. One day, while drawing, Gio casually mentioned this to his friends. They were shocked because each of them had been experiencing the exact same thing, waking up startled at different times of the night. It wasn't just sleeplessness. It felt like something in the house wanted them awake. Later, they asked around the village and learned the house had a dark past. A young man once lived there with his family, but died tragically in a bike accident. Since he didn't believe in any religion, no community agreed to bury him in the religious graveyard. Instead, his body was buried near the very house Gio and his friends were renting. The villagers said a priest had come to bless the house, but still, no one stayed there for long. Even now, Gio swears the house carried a strange energy, like the young man's spirit was still moving around, unable to rest. Well, this makes me sad because I feel like this poor young man is just waking people up because he wants his body moved. And that's not fair. That is not fair to do to somebody. If they want to be buried somewhere, just freaking bury them somewhere. Well, let me take that back. I understand that you can't just be buried anywhere. But at the same time, like, where was this person's family buried? If we can find where their family is buried, then he should be moved next to them, regardless. Because this poor guy is just trapped here now, like, hey, I'm not happy with this, and he's not able to move on. And isn't that kind of like what you want? You want people happy in like real life, and you want them happy in their past life. God, their oh my God, their freaking spirit life. What's the word I'm looking for? My brain is not braining today. But anyhow, I feel bad for this spirit, more or less. Like, yeah, it's spooky. It's spooky that they're all experiencing the same thing, but also like I can sympathize with the poor man who basically this town shunned because he wasn't religious, that's just so silly. That's so silly, so stupid to me. Whatever. But maybe now we can go and find his family and lay him to rest properly. I don't see the problem of that. But if you guys have anything to say, let me know below. If you have a story, like either story today or any paranormal story in general, head on over to my website and seriously send it to me. I'm all ears. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. And well, it's an odd world after all. Oddballs, thank you for listening. And if you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to leave 5 stars or thumbs up on whatever podcast platform you listen on. If you have any comments for this episode, comment below or head over to Instagram and comment on this episode's preview. To submit a story or for more information, go to itsanoddworldafterall.com.